Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Us. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, my friends? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Thank you so much for joining this show. We have over 500 episodes of growth mindset content that will help you be a better individual and will help you show up better as a husband, a father, a wife, and a mother. So welcome to the show, guys. Glad you're here.
That's right. We offer real help for real couples. And we're excited today to talk about what I call marriage mode, which is something that I've used with clients. So Seth and I do high performance marriage coaching. We have clients, and I've used this for a few months now, and I was reminded of it the other night when I was writing up an action plan for a client, and I was like, we haven't talked about this on the show at all, and I want to talk about it because it is a game changer for It's a game changer for really showing up differently for your marriage in a different mindset so that you can tackle the things that need to be tackled without all the faffing and nonsense that lots of couples run into.
Right. And I love this as a therapist because we're talking about mindset. And as a therapist, I look at all the family of origin stuff, everything clinically, blah, 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 that maybe has you stuck in a certain mindset, right? But with coaching in our show, we talk about those things, address those, understand them, and then also say,
do something about it. Yeah.
We're going to do something. We're going to change the mindset. It's funny when you talk about marriage mode, you said, hey, I'm going to talk about beast mode too. And then I thought about sports cars and stuff. Like they have comfort mode or sport mode or the Tesla has, I think, ludicrous mode, which is just crazy, which is different. It's funny, but that really highlights exactly what we're talking about. When you get in a car and you're on granny mode,
right,
that's going to be slow, right? Versus a ludicrous mode, you're like, it is time. We're going fast. This is fun. This is intense.
Yep.
And sometimes you guys, to get out of your marriage rut or your individual funk, you got to change your mindset. You have to change your mode. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought up the beast mode concept because I was trying to think of modes, and the very first one I thought of was like mom mode. Like I understand what mom mode is. Like, for example, when Tuff broke his arm at the skate park when he was like 10, I just went into mom mode. Like nothing can distract me from, I've got to get this kid to the hospital. I have to fix this now. I have to make sure my other kids are not traumatized by this moment. Like you go into this mode where it switches how you handle things, right?
It's go time.
Yeah, it's go time. That's exactly right. And then I was like, what other modes are there? And I was like, oh, beast mode. So I don't know if beast mode is only a Seattle thing.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So beast mode is Marshawn Lynch? Is
yeah, Marshawn Lynch from Seattle Seahawks, number 24. Doesn't play for us anymore. But if you're an NFL fan and watched him when we were going to the Super Bowl a couple of those times, he went into beast mode.
Right.
And he was unstoppable. He was a train, and he was an unstoppable force. Beast mode, boom, going through.
Yep.
It was go time.
Yep. So I actually Googled, and this is my favorite thing. I Googled, how does beast mode work for athletes? I love it. I love this. And here's what it gave me. It said beast mode is a term commonly used in sports and fitness culture to describe a state of intense focus, aggression, and high performance level. It is often associated with athletes who exhibit exceptional physical and mental attributes during competition or training. While the term is more colloquial than scientific, there are several factors that contribute to what people refer to as beast mode in athletics. So number one, and this again applies perfectly to relationships and to marriage. And let's sort of contrast this with why marriage mode, why are we talking about it? So when we work with clients and when clients go see a therapist like Seth, they will often just be stuck in a rut, some cycle that they can't get out of. Like, well, I want so-and-so to help. I want my husband to help me. I don't know what could it be? Like get the kids ready or take care of the kids or
do the dishes, do
help
the
whatever,
cut the grass. Yeah.
But, and then they fill in the blank with why they can't. Right. And this idea of marriage mode, like switching on marriage mode, Marshawn Lynch does not get onto the field and go, I really want to get a touchdown, but
those guys are in my way.
Those guys are in my way and my shoes aren't tied right. Or there's no excuse that stops him from getting into that mode. And so as I was looking up beast mode and the like bullet points of it, it just perfectly applies to marriage. So number one, mental focus and determination, right? So in this athlete's example, it says athletes in beast mode often display an unparalleled mental focus and determination. They are highly motivated, set on achieving their goals, and can push through challenges with a strong mindset.
Right. Okay. So I'm about to get fired up.
Get fired up.
You know what I'm saying? So go to bullet point 1 there. Mental focus and determination. Clear my throat, right? But mental focus. Think about a time when there was a task in front of you and no was not an option. Understand what I'm saying? And this could be anything from I'm saving money. Think about maybe when you were young, you're like, I'm going to get my first job and save up for a car or something.
Or a tattoo. It's all
literally, that's what you did. You saved up your tips at Starbucks
yes.
for a tattoo. So you had mental focus. That was your goal, correct? You could go out to eat here, do this or do that. You're like, no. I'm saving up for this, right? So you had a mental focus and determination to get your first tattoo, which says mom on your arm, right? And so think about another time where maybe the stakes were higher, like things were intense. You had a deadline at work, or your wife comes in and says, hey, we're done, and you choose to turn your life around, right? Maybe it's a struggle with sobriety. Maybe it's a kid that has gotten into trouble. Maybe it's you that has gotten into trouble. I can think of, and this is going to sound bad at first, but I can think of dozens and dozens of times in my life where I had to say, okay, what are we doing? And that can be relationship-wise, that can be individual-wise, that can be work-wise, all kinds of wise. But there was a clear line in the sand of do this or don't do it. The choice is yours. And that's happened twice in our marriage. Understand what I'm saying? Well, once, big time, right? Do this or don't. If you continue to do this or don't do this, you will not stay married, right? And we both decided we're going to stay married. And we had the mental focus on that and the determination. The long-standing determination to change our situation, right? So in the men's group and other dudes that I talk to, this really fires me up like in the physical space is because it's like, okay, you're either out there running, exerting your body, being physical, or you're not. Everybody in the world thinks that's cool, or David Goggins is this and that and cool and everything. But the determinant of if you get that or not is if you actually do it or not. Right. If you have the mental focus and the long-standing determination to do something like that. And this, again, gets me fired up and makes me think all of this stuff is related. So all these bullet points, it's just not one, bullet point that holds this together. It's all four. It's all more than four. Oh, well, okay, there's 7. A bunch. It's all 7 that combine and coalesce into that thing that you want. Understand what I'm saying? And wanting it is not enough. It's the mental focus and determination to do it, which is number 1. Number 2 is increased intensity. So it says beast mode is characterized. Did I say that right? Characterized by a heightened level of intensity in an athlete's performance. This might involve increased speed, strength, agility, or a combination of these factors. So increased intensity, right? So again, I think in marriage mode, there's so many little examples. We should have like an example to kind of apply this all to. Well, think about this. Sorry to interrupt you, but increased intensity. So you've done number 1. You have a mental focus and determination to change something, right? Now, increased intensity, in my mind, as a coach and therapist, I think, okay, I'm going to increase the things that help my marriage, right? So increased intensity would be going to a marriage therapist or marriage coaching 1 time a week, talking to your marriage coach, aka us, several times a week, right? And maybe on the fitness side, going to the gym daily, drinking X amount of water, cutting out certain things. So you're increasing the intensity because my dad told me this a long time ago. He said, if you want friends, you got to be a friend, right? And then as I've grown older, I'm like, oh, what really makes friendships and relationships? It is time spent together, right? So if you and I just saw each other once a week and that's it, we would slowly not be in relationship anymore, right? So if you want this to affect your marriage, which that's the context we're talking about, date nights, intentional time. Jordan Peterson talks about couples have to have at least a minimum of 90 minutes of focused FaceTime, consecutive focused FaceTime, at least once a week, right? And I saw this other thing of daily check-ins. Usually that's in the morning for you and I before the kids wake up and then when I get home and stuff like that. So you have to increase intensity on activities that push you closer to your goal. Fitness, finances, health, wealth, anything. Increased activities towards the goal. I would say that the mental focus and determination of number 1, like what are you trying to focus on? What are you determined to succeed at? And that's having a great marriage. Right. Like that is a goal that you can have focus at. And so increase your intensity toward having a great marriage, right? And I think, again, it involves this intentionality
around, everything from the Power Couple Planner that you can get at anatomyofus.com.
Let me just tell you a minute about this. Melanie created this, and this increases intensity instantly. Instantly. I just mailed some off today, in fact. But this is the Power Couple Planner. Plan your life and be a power couple.
That's
so
exactly
go check this out.
So number 3 on the beast mode thing is flow state. Says some athletes enter a state of flow where they are fully immersed in their activity. In this state, they may experience a loss of self-awareness and a sense of time, performing at their peak without overthinking. Without overthinking. How many times has overthinking stopped everyone,
oh my gosh,
from simply just being present in the thing that they know they're supposed to be present in?
Infinite times. You understand?
Yeah.
Like overthinking. I had this realization. Overthinking and anxiety just basically ruins everything. It stops you from doing so many things and living a full life, right? So flow states, and I'm thinking, okay, so 1 and 2, we have to have the mental focus and determination and increased intensity. Then after a time, after you do those 2, you're going to have a flow state. And I have realized, tell me if I'm wrong here, I have realized the last couple of months of our marriage has been in a pretty good flow state. You know what I'm saying? Like we're on the same page with a bunch of things and we're just going.
But that took a massive amount of intentionality.
Yes, of course.
And very much individual intentionality, counseling, like
Absolutely.
Having systems, lots and lots of systems.
Just like an athlete or a musician or anybody else you see at the top of their game, they just didn't fall off a log and go, boom, flow state, right?
Right.
Unless you just do drugs
down
and
the
then you're
river
like,
state.
yeah, right? But same thing with marriage. It took a long minute to get there. And when we're there, it feels pretty amazing.
Yeah. And again, I want to really reiterate the performing at their peak without overthinking. So we see this with clients so often, especially because people who reach out to us typically have gone through something really challenging in their marriage, or they're in something really challenging in their marriage. And so the propensity to overthink is always there, to the temptation to like, well, why are they doing that? They're only doing that because Melanie told them. They only blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they've overthought it and they're out of the flow state and they're not in marriage mode and everything falls apart like it did the week, month, years, decades before, right? And so flow state is super important. But again, you have to go back to number 1. You've got to know, like, have that mental focus and determination. What are you actually after? We're after a great marriage and we have to not overthink the process while we're in it. Again, Marshawn Lynch doesn't overthink when he's quarterbacking. I don't know what he was. What was he? Linebacker, running back. He wasn't overthinking it. He was just doing it. Number 4 on here, we'll see how this word works. It's adrenaline release. It says the term often implies an adrenaline surge. Adrenaline is a hormone that prepares the body for intense physical activity by increasing heart rate, dilating air passages, and mobilizing energy stores.
Okay, so that one, you don't have to go into like adrenaline release when you're in marriage mode, but keep in mind, marriage mode means the shift in mindset of I do what an amazing husband does. I think how an amazing husband thinks. I serve how an amazing husband thinks or serves. I love how an amazing husband loves, right? And in the context of Christianity, which we are big-time believers, it's, okay, how did Jesus serve us in all this? And when you combine that with marriage mode of I'm striving to do the right thing at all times and trusting in the process that it will work, it just changes things. So again, the adrenaline release, maybe not so much to I guess, marriage, but
I will say there is a chemical, like,
I
wouldn't say, there is like a chemical thing. And this is interesting because I think it's something you have to fight against. Because again, I think most people are coming at this concept of marriage mode and going, I don't know how to navigate this, but feel free to let your adrenaline release happen and be like, I'm going to tackle this problem. I'm not going to tackle my spouse, but I'm going to tackle this problem like with all of the energy that I need to tackle it. Because I think even that can be, people just kind of want to back away from this stuff or stay stuck in a fight somewhere else. Like, fight something new, fight a mediocre marriage, fight a crappy marriage, fight against a marriage you didn't want, that you didn't sign up for. But don't fight your spouse. Fight against the energy of this, all the negative stuff, the hard stuff. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So it can be, you can get a dose of adrenaline. Like say that we're, in an argument or whatever. And like I said, okay, I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to fight for this. I can use that surge and go, yes, I am doing the right thing, and let that push for me. In therapy, we talk about externalizing the problem. There's a difference between externalizing the problem and internalizing the problem. You don't want to do the latter. But when we externalize the problem, then we're fighting against this thing out here, not right
it's
here.
Like the unpaid bills are the problem, not my stupid husband, right? It's
right.
We are together against the unpaid bills. Let's get those bills paid, right?
Yeah.
And even here it says, what is the definition of adrenaline? It says a hormone secreted by the adrenal glands, especially in conditions of stress, increasing rates of blood circulation, breathing, and carbohydrate metabolism, and preparing muscles for exertion. So I think there's a lot of that, like, almost the mental part of that. Do it. Like let that surge of adrenaline be a thing that pushes your progress forward, if that makes sense. But again, not at your spouse, at the problem. Number 5 is preparation and training in beast mode. It says beast mode is not just about spontaneous bursts of energy. It's often the result of rigorous training and preparation. Athletes who consistently train hard and push their limits are more likely to access beast mode when it matters.
When it matters.
That is amazing. And that reminds me again of the Power Couple Planner, because you're practicing like healthy, confident, competent, relational interactions with each other. And then you're having to go into marriage mode when you need it the most. So when the S hits the fan, when stuff gets hard, or when stuff feels too, like lazy, in a rut.
Right.
You're turning on marriage mode on purpose, but you have to know what you're turning on.
So that makes me think of the quotes, and maybe it was James Clear, I'm not sure, but we think we're going to rise to the level of our capabilities, but oftentimes we fall to the level of our preparation. And think about training basketball, or if you're like target practicing with guns or something like that. You think, oh yeah, in your mind, you project this hero, like how you think you will perform, but you always fall to the level of how much you have trained for it.
Well, think of like what is that? Tough Mudder. We recently did the Tough Mudder,
right?
And it was super fun. But you could tell people who had done nothing,
yes,
and were like, "Oh, I could take that on.
Easy.
I could do that,"
right?
And they're like practically dying as they're going through the thing, and you're like, like, I don't know, man. And
but we were doing 75 hard during the time, but we were like on day, I don't know, 60 or something like that. So our bodies were acclimated
we were fine with
physical stuff.
But I'm saying the people who thought, oh, I could totally do that, but they hadn't trained for it whatsoever.
Oh no, they were winded and they were skipping obstacles and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Everybody that we talk to, especially young couples, and us too, we went through this. We get married and we think, well, I'm not going to do that thing and this and that. But we have this fairy tale idea, but we fall. When stuff hits the fan, we go, oh, wait a minute. Here I am at the level of preparation that I did not prepare for, and I'm, get upset about it. But can you honestly be surprised? Can I honestly be surprised if I just did no activity? Except walk 2 feet to the mailbox and then jumped on a Tough Mudder, and could I be disappointed in my results or my time or my performance? No, I would be foolish if I did that, right?
Right. They're consistent with what you put into it.
That's right. So you will fall to the level of your preparation. And again, that's why the Power Couple Planner is so handy. Like we're planning date nights, we're planning connection, we're planning everything, and we're on the same page. So think about it. Say that, you guys ordered this today and you did 6 weeks of this. You were really steadfast, meeting every single week. Hey, how's it going? Let's do the PCP. Okay, let's go here. Date nights, consistent, all this stuff. And then something tough happens. How do you think you're going to respond to that had you not done like 6 weeks of intentional work?
Yeah, that's a crazy thought. It's like you will respond with 6 weeks of training almost under your belt for that had you not done, you wouldn't have that skill set, that connection, that deep understanding, the attunement that can only happen over the time that you've spent together. That's a really cool way of looking at it. So
we're literal, both of us are musicians, right? Have you ever played a bad show?
Me? No, you have. I haven't.
Nice try.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Like, you've been off.
Yes.
On a show. I definitely have, right? And it came down, was I prepared? Mm-hmm. Was I just messing around or this, show, who cares, blah.
Right.
Then you get up on stage in front of a bunch of people and you get embarrassed. You're like, dang it. Your bandmates are like, bro, what are you doing? Kind of thing.
You and I have different musical experiences.
Well, we do. Yes, true. But the point is showing up underprepared. Mm-hmm. It's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. We always regret it. Like, oh, dang it. I should have.
But it is very much solvable.
It is very much solvable.
By being prepared.
Do the work.
Yep. Preparation and training. Number 6 is one of my favorites. It's a positive mindset. Again, this is about beast mode / marriage mode. So maintaining a positive mindset can contribute to beast mode. Athletes who approach challenges with confidence and a belief in their abilities are more likely to perform at their best. Mm-hmm. So let's replace the words. Couples who approach a challenge with confidence and the belief in their abilities to solve and get over that challenge together are more likely to perform at their best. Mm-hmm. How cool is that?
It's
mindset
amazing.
Really, really, really matters. Positive mindset matters. And in fact, I want you to share something that you started recently doing, which I think is ridiculously hilarious and unbelievably effective.
Okay. We were talking about this with some clients last week, and I'd get up at 5 and, maybe 20 or 15 minutes earlier than Melanie, sit at the table, read the Bible, and have some coffee, right? And then I can hear Melanie rustling around, coming down the stairs, and sometimes I look at her and just give her like a karate chop,
so
or like
a slice
like
of
a
our
smirk.
A day in our life, a morning, we would typically wake up, and when we first see each other, it's this. Oh, yeah?
Right? So it was acknowledging each other. It was kind of fun, kind of silly. But just the body posture of that is what? It is defensive. Mm-hmm. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like we would squinty eyes at, like sus. Yeah. Squinty eyes at each other.
Yeah, like sus, defensive. But again, it was funny. It was relational. Mm-hmm. But I got the idea of, hey, instead of that, I want to make it 100% positive, 100% change the vibes of it. Open, not defensive, not sus, but inviting and loving, right? So now we do something like this. We go, hey, there you are. Mm-hmm. All right, come on, bring it in. Let's do this. And we hug and we smile, and it's a whole different vibe. And I think that has really changed.
Yeah, it has. And I want to say, like, Seth came up to me and he's like, hey, and I mean, think about how awkward this is. But again, it's immensely effective. So he came up and he's like, yeah, we acknowledge each other, but it's kind of negative. Like, we're being silly, but it's sort of like karate chop silly. And he's like, what if we just didn't do that? And instead we were like super positive, like way blast out positive.
But not hokey or like fake or anything. Just the actuality of how we feel inside when we see each other.
Yep. And so what we start doing, like,
imagine that.
Let's do an example of that. So this morning, it tends to be something like, I'm trying to think, I come around the corner, you're in the kitchen already, and it's this guy. There he is. Hey.
And we're smiling. We're saying, hey, I acknowledge you.
And we're like, bring it on in.
By my countenance, she's smiling, I'm smiling. Mm-hmm. What is that? What do you think that does to vibrations and energy in the room?
Well, and it's like literal celebration of each other. Yeah. It's a positive celebration of like, dude, my best friend is here.
Right.
And listen, 20 years ago, like 15 years ago, I hated this guy. But I didn't really want to hate him. And so now I celebrate him.
That's right.
Don't hate him, celebrate him. But that small step, again, it's a really, really small mindset shift that unlocks so much positive potential. It's ridiculous. So again, in marriage mode, you have to have this positive mindset. Because again, people who approach challenges with a positive mindset are far more likely to succeed at them, to do it, right?
Now. Let me tell you something that messes every couple in the history of the world up.
Bad burritos.
I can't be positive because they're so negative.
Right.
Let's talk about that for a minute because we got to camp out on that. Mm-hmm. I can't be XYZ because she is 1, 2, 3. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, I do understand that if you came around the corner and I was like, oh, yeah, she's there. And if you just said, bro, what are you doing? That would kill the vibe, right? Mm-hmm. But would I allow that to change my outlook on myself, on the day, on how I'm going to parent, on how I'm going to continue to show up. If I decide to work out or not that day, right? So many couples do that. We've been guilty of that 8 million times, right? But because we have 1 through 6, we're working on this and creating our own marriage mode, right? So do not, I'm thinking of a saying that our friend, do not let him steal your joy.
Oh, yeah. Toby.
Right? Do not allow the other person's countenance, vibe, everything. And I know this is hard. If anyone in the world suffers from this, I do. So I'm not asking something that I don't understand myself. Do not allow them to create something in you that's, I don't know, like diminishes what you were feeling 2 seconds before that, because that's actually called codependency. I can't feel this. I can't endorse this. I'm not okay unless you share that same enthusiasm, excitement, mindset, and all this stuff. Really? So, I mean, we can't do that.
It's very hard though, because we have mirror neurons. So we're wired to reflect back to people what they show us. Right. So if you have, and we're all skewed negative, right?
Yes.
So that's another really challenging factor, is that humans are skewed negative. So if Seth comes to me with a bunch of positivity and then I just like fart on that and whatever, I make it harder for him to stay in marriage mode, because I have now, with my emotions, said that marriage mode is dumb, right? Like that's what I've shown him.
But you know what marriage mode entails? Marriage mode entails one person having to work against that and fighting what they want to do inside, right? So Seth in true marriage mode, I could be like, yeah, what's up, blah, blah, and you're just, whatever. How am I going to let that affect my mindset? Oh, I'm in marriage mode. I'm not talking about Pollyanna, like she can do anything and I'm just fine with it. Nope, not that. I'm going to continue.
You're going to call me
on
up
this path
higher,
and call you up higher, right?
I want to think of like teams, like Seahawks or whatever team is you prefer. So the teammates, they're on the same team. So if one of them falls and his shoe flies off, the other one says, all right, get back in the game. Come on, get your shoe on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It doesn't mean that I fell off the wagon and I was poopy pants when you were trying, which has happened, right? That happens. More likely than not, it's that exact direction. It's Seth's trying to be happy, and I'm like, whatever.
So there's this clip of some college basketball players, right, in NCAA. I don't know the team, and one guy misses a shot, and they're walking like they calls a timeout, and this guy, you can if you're not watching here, the guy is walking down the court with his head down, right? And his teammate comes to him. Physically lifts up his head and then slaps him on the butt or something, and then they run. And it talks about, hey, get people like that in your corner. Right now, understand, in a marriage, you're like, nope, I'm not having it. What you did was wrong, and blah, blah, blah. I'm hurt. I'm sad. I'm mad. But on the whole, more times than not, I want you to raise my chin up like that, right? And I give you permission to do that same thing, right? And then what are we? A team. And when you're in like a team-like marriage mode, forget it.
Yeah, and I think too, another thing I want to point out that with marriage mode specifically is that there are challenges regardless of your marriage, your person you're married to, whatever. Like life has a lot of challenges within it. And oftentimes when it's a relational challenge, we think for some reason that it's reason enough to be like, well, I don't want to do it because he's mean, or I don't like that because it made me feel bad. Like, so what? I want to say so what to more marriage problems than we currently say so what to.
Like Jocko Willink says, oh, stuff's going sideways. I'm not feeling it. Good. Oh, I can't even think of a marriage thing. Say a client calls us and, oh, she's being crazy again. Or, I mean, not crazy, mental health crazy, but, oh, that same thing that's happening again. Good.
Listen,
this is an opportunity to change.
This just happened with a client this couple is amazing. And the wife called me and she's like, this thing is happening. I'm so frustrated. And I basically replied with, good.
Yes.
This will allow you to exercise everything that we've been learning together. Yes. Good. And it turned out great. Like in a matter of minutes,
that's
we
awesome.
got it to turn back around and it was a mindset shift. At the end of the day, that's really all it required. Mindset shift.
Kind of like on 75 Hard, doing an outside workout. Oh, it's pouring down rain. I have literally looked at the weather and gone, good. let's go.
Yeah, now it'll really push me.
Now it'll really push you. It's just not an easy breezy walk or outdoor run.
Easy breezy beautiful girl.
That's right.
Or cover girl. So again, we wanted to introduce this idea of marriage mode and to really, I don't even know what the word would be, but to like give you the privilege of showing up for your marriage like a beast. Like show up for it, fight for it, be awesome for it. Don't just do it when things are going easy. Like be amazing when stuff is hard. That's the time that we should be amazing, you know? If
beast mode was easy, if having a good marriage was easy, everybody would have one, right? And we know from psychology and parenting, child rearing, easy all the time is not good.
Oh, it's so bad for us.
You have to have pressure. You have to be tested. Otherwise, you don't know what you're made of. What kind of husband am I if Melanie just does everything and it's just smooth sailing all the time? I can falsely think, I'm a good husband because I did all. No, you didn't do anything. Right?
Yep.
Or vice versa kind of thing. So you guys, marriage mode equals a good marriage. Marriage mode equals determination and discipline in the long game. We've tasted that. We help other clients taste it. By the way, the number one determinant of success for coaching clients that we have, two things: growth mindset, absolute growth mindset, actually three things: absolute growth mindset, being on the same page with your spouse, having a same shared vision, and shared religion.
Or having, I think, belief in.
Yeah. And when I say religion, I mean Christianity. The Christian couples who are real Christians, who have a shared vision for their marriage and a growth mindset, massive, massive, massive change. So if you're interested in coaching, email us at hello@anatomyofus.com for sure. And let's talk about the holiday hotline real quick.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my brain was going to something else. I did not think that's what you were going to say. So the holiday hotline is a really fun opportunity for you to call us, leave a voice message with a question, either like, what do I do about X, Y, and Z thing? Or tell us a crazy story about your holidays. Get some burning things off of your chest of like, I can't stand my cousin so-and-so and I just need to tell someone, or my mother-in-law is blah, 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 and get it off your chest. So you can call us at 425-310-2467. Just vent. We'll make you anonymous. We'll share it on the show. And then we're going to give you our comments, our thoughts, our insights, our like strategies for how to manage that. But again, this is sort of the precursor, like the soft launch to our coaching calling show. Call-in coaching show.
We're super stoked about that. So guys, thank you so much. Go grab the Power Couple Planner. Again, if you're interested in coaching, if you want to be in marriage mode, you need some help, give us a call. We will absolutely help you and get set up for 2024. So anything else, hello@anatomyofus.com. We love you. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys.
Bye.
Later.